My name is Brady Eystone, and I'm one of the recruiters here at Marsden. And I'm here today to explain what it is that we do to find the best cleaners we can find for you. Here in the recruiting department, we spend our days perusing Indeed, Facebook, and then our own software, Quantech, trying to find people who are interested or maybe interested in working for Marsden. Once we've made contact with a candidate, we will do one of two things. We will either invite them in for an in-person interview, or more likely, we'll set them up for a phone screen. Hi Trey, this is Brady Eystone from Marsden Building Maintenance. I'm just calling because we had a phone interview scheduled for 8:30. Now, if we decide on that phone interview that we find a good spot for them, we will then, at that point, email you the notes that we took and ask you to give them a call so you can set up an in-person interview with them. If you agree that this candidate is a good fit for your building and yourself, we will need a few things. One, we will need a union form filled out by the candidate. Two, we will need an I-9. Now, this first sheet of the I-9 includes things like the candidate's address, their social security number, things like that. And they should fill out this first page. The second page of the I-9 is about the identification that they present. List A would be things like a passport or a green card or a work authorization card. If you are presented with one of those three things, do not accept anything else. Do not send us anything else, and only fill out List A. If they do not have a List A item, you will likely be presented with something like a driver's license or a state ID. If that is the case, that is a List B item. If you are presented with a List B item, you will also need a List C item. And that would be something like a social security card or a birth certificate. If you are presented with a List B and a List C item, do not accept a List A item and only fill out List B and List C. Do not send us a List A item if you get a List B and a List C, and do not send us a List B and a List C if you get a List A. And then thirdly, what we need is a picture, a copy of the IDs that are represented on the I-9. Once we get all of that, we will send the candidate their paperwork and their orientation video. Once the candidate completes those three things, we will then import them into Team to get them an employee number, and we will send you the information, and they are ready to start. If you are having trouble remembering what is and is not an acceptable document, USCIS has a list on their website that you can find by Googling I-9 documents. The link will say Acceptable Documents, USCIS. Oftentimes, we actually leave the confines of our building and head out to job fairs all throughout the cities. We have gone quite often to St. Louis Park, Shakopee, Coon Rapids, Bloomington. We've gone to Target Field on occasion. We go all over the place to try to find the best possible candidates we can find to come clean your buildings. It's also not uncommon for us to hold job fairs here in this room in the 1717 building. And when we do that, we will oftentimes get 75, 85 people, many of whom we're able to process that same day to get them to you. One last thing. Please remember that if you do not have a position listed as open, we will not know to fill it. So please keep the Google Doc as updated as possible. And remember, if you have any questions about anything in this video, feel free to reach out to anybody in the recruiting department. We would all love to help.